official beginning of the fall trading season. We had the equinox yesterday, first day of fall. So let's all stand tall and have our trading speak for us during this season. So the headline of this video is I'm expecting, just like I said Friday, a bit of a market breather across the board. Keep in mind, it's all one market. Things seem to, trade up. Everything trades up together, down together, just a difference in magnitude. So I'm looking for a little under 110 in euro this week to revisit this level before we make the next move up above 112, maybe up towards, 115, 114, 115. Cable's still outperforming. EG continues to act pretty lousy. It's oversold. It could bounce, but I see no sign of a bottom. So your preferred long would be cable. So maybe all cable does is pull back towards 32 or so, tests the flag breakout. Yes, Friday I said to take profits on half of the Aussie was here. I know we're above the line here. I'm not adding, okay, because we're diverging here. Uh, you know, we all have freedom. I'm just telling you what I'm not doing, and the reason is I'm expecting a low in USD CAD around this 35 level, and then a pretty good rally back up here. So that makes me hesitant from adding on. So I have a half position, and even though we're trading above the breakout, still think there's a chance for this thing to pull back towards, just like the euro, back to prior lows for the last bus stop before we really go. And the outperformance, I really think that you're going to get outperformance in Aussie over everything, except maybe cable. Maybe it's the same. Uh, Looking at the end, they tried to sell it off earlier in the day. I don't think it's done. I called this when we were down here and said that the yen was bottoming, that there were too many people late to the party. They're all getting squeezed. I don't think it's over yet. Still think we could go to 46, maybe 48, halfway back be about 50. So this implied higher yields, and we're still getting it pretty close. There might be a pullback in here, but if we take out 380, you're looking at 4% on the long. And now I think that it's going to be a great buy in TLT. Not sure I will key a buy off TLT off when yields get towards another 25 bips or so, and the yen is close to completion as well. Okay, so Dixie not doing much, up 12. It's really been sideways since the Fed meeting where we made new lows, so it's in a real tight range. I still think that there could be a stop hunt above these highs, above 102 for better sales. Um, Gold's making a new high for the move, but I just want to point out, look at this glaring divergence. And today there was, there's not a higher high. This is pretty glaring though. It's over 70, not ideal, but divergence. Silver was down over 40. It's trying to come back. Maybe it could push for another new high, but I think you're going to have another chance at 29 if you miss the last one. And natural gas continues to explode to the upside with a gap. So this is something that was talked about on September 3rd when it was the only green on the screen. Now I want to get into how I'm postulating a high in the S&Ps. Okay, so there are numbers, projected highs anywhere from, like, I don't know, 5850 to 6,300. That's the majority of the range. But what we have here is a three drive to a top formation. I talked about this after the July low as it being a possibility that we could have 1, 2, 3. The problem with this 3 is that the weekly is really weak, okay, compared to prior readings, almost 80 at top 1 and 2. So I've seen this before. So what I'll be expecting is some type of high in here, a pullback, a higher high, a pullback, and then one more high. So I'm looking for a fractal of 1, 2, 3 in the third wave, looking for a third drive to a top. That way I don't have to worry about which price to sell it at. I'll just wait for the pattern to develop, and it could take, I certainly think it's going to take more than 2 weeks. Could take 3. So we'll see. A lot of people are saying we're going to have problems prior to the election, some saying after, some saying not till next year. I'm not going to guess. I'm just going to look for market action to give me a 3. But as you can see, we are definitely into the third drive. And I'll be looking for a fractal of this in the third drive. I hope everyone understands, and maybe we'll could get a better look at we get a 4-hour chart. So we really haven't ended wave 1, but if we do, the top on drive 3, maybe 1's ending and we get a pullback here, then we get another high, another pullback, another high. So we don't have to guess. We know it's 2 weeks to 5 weeks away, and things are really escalating in the Middle East, and people may not be able to whistle through the graveyard forever, past the graveyard, without some of these things hitting home. I actually see that yields could turn negative again, invert again after trying to come out of inversion with the calls that I've been making on interest rates. And I did want to show Nat Gas continues on its march. Look at that. And September 3rd was the long. Okay. The great trade in Nat Gas. We have gold shares up. Are we trying to make a new high? Trying to make a new high in Newmont. This would be a 3 in GDX. I like this one on a pullback. But I actually talked to someone today whose work I respect, that is looking for, once we peak here, 2,400 gold. That's going to be a big break. I have to think that probably happens with at least help by risk off that could take it down there. So keep an eye out, because I think we're close to the first wave up here on the daily. We're in the third, and this is 1 of 3 up here, right here. So we need a pullback, maybe back to 5,600 and a couple consecutive highs after pullbacks to get that. As you can see, both the weekly and daily are not confirming, whereas the 4-hour is confirming here. So we'll at least get, I think, one more high in here before we start to sell off towards 56. I think that's a wrap for me. I hope that you guys are learning. There's going to be some excellent historical type trades that are going to present themselves to us over the next 3 months into year end. And as we live in, the Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. There's going to be a lot of market movement, both violent and trend changing. So be on your toes, protect yourself, keep your hands up, and remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See you in the room. Adios. This Wednesday, I have an interview with Bob Elliott. He's a contributor on CNBC. Bob's excellent. He was a proponent of gold before it became fashionable. So I'll see everyone tomorrow with Mike. Good hunting.